Hello everyone, it's Sloth here with my favorite laddering deck. And if you like stats, oh boy, we have something for you, because in total I have played 150 games. 150 games with this deck. This is actually my most played deck in Arena, because I use it to get to Mythic, because it's the quickest way to play into Mythic. And yeah, we will talk about the matchups, and we will talk about the deck, and we will talk about everything that you want to know. First of all, in 150 games, we had 70% win rate. This is actually like a mediocre level of stats for like big decks online. So we made like real research on this deck, and you can like those stats actually do matter, because we can see how much easier is it to win on the play. It's 14% higher win rate, and I totally feel this. And what's the best? We actually win all the matchups. You can see that in every single matchup we are favored, and there are some matchups where we are extremely favored. There are some matchups which we are just very favored. Like, this is crazy. There's no matchup that we lose with this deck, because it has over 60% in everything, and usually over 70, like against Black, against Izzet, against Rakdos, against Esper, all above 70%. And like one of the lower win rates is against Boros, because it's only 65% win rates. Boros, the deck that is right now like the biggest contender on ladder, and like probably in tournaments as well. And we are just beating it on regular basis, like in a big sample of games. We played 23 games and we won nearly twice that we lost. So yeah, that's crazy. I cannot believe how good this deck is, and I really like this video because you might have seen this deck on this channel, but I think those stats really show a big picture, what you can expect about this deck and what is the meta. We actually we lost against Band, but just because we played 3 games in total in those 150 games, and we lost 1 against Simic, and that's it. Other than this, like, you can see that any matchup where we have a lot of games is just extremely positive. Like, if we even have 5 ones, this is just crazy. And yeah, I really think this is one of the best decks right now. I honestly, personally think it's the best one. But I think Boros is serious contender. Part of this percentages is definitely enemies not playing as they should, because, like, let's face it, a lot of people don't make perfect plays, and of course I also make a lot of misplays, and you will see it in the video. You will definitely see a lot of misplays, and I am leaving them on purpose because I don't know some things, and maybe you also don't know those interactions, or you just forget about it. And if you know, you will at least have a laugh about our great plays that gave us Mythic. And by the way, the final game, oh man, this will be something you don't expect. Our final Mythic game, that's definitely something nobody saw coming. Okay, so spoiler alert. We will talk about the deck. If you want to see any stats, here they are. And the only difference between the versions, because this also includes the stats from my previous video, but we played like 70 more games or something crazy like this. I don't even remember, a lot of more games. And we landed in top 600 Mythic. So the idea behind this video was, right now the meta has changed. We have Boros, we have very aggressive meta, and nearly every game you just scrap to survive, to fight for your life. And I wondered, because this is the archetype, it's still Esper in a way. It is more control-y version, you have some kind of counter spells, some removals. You even have direct removals right now. So I wondered if it is still good in the current meta with all the burn, and we don't have really life gain, right? We only have the Emperor, I believe. Well, actually we have some, like we have Adversary, but it nearly always dies, so Interceptor is like our only life linker. So maybe we have some. that's not entirely true, but it's not really something we play around. So I wondered if this deck is still good, and it seems that it's not only good, it's freaking amazing, and if you want something to carry you to the Mythic, I think this is just the best deck. I'm not sure what the average game time is. I think it's around, like 6 minutes, something like this. So, like, if you are short on time, for example, I usually go to Mythic because I do it for YouTube, frankly. I never really cared about ranking too much. Personally, I'm the brewer at Soul, so I generally don't really enjoy grinding to Mythic too much. I just do it so, you know, we are there and you get the first stats of actual like competitive play when we showcase the decks instead of like going Platinum where everything might work even if it's not really great. So that's why I do it, and I want to have it done in the least amount time possible, and that's why I always use this deck lately. And if you are in the similar position that you just want to hit Mythic and you just want to enjoy the rest of the month, just go with this deck, and you can see how beast of a deck it is. And let me tell you, jokes aside, you actually have many decisions with this deck, and how you play it is really fitting to your style, and you can outplay enemy very hard with this deck. So that's the stats. I hope you enjoy them, because I think we never had so much stats for any deck, and I think like 70% win rate over 150 games and destroying Boros on a regular basis with this deck is something that is worth making video of. So I hope you enjoy, and I really like the game, so I think you will enjoy them as well. Okay, and we are in the deck, the cursed deck that we have to play because it's so good. So basically I won't really cover all the choices. I think that you might have seen them in the other videos. If not, I encourage you to watch them, and I don't want to take too much of your time because it's not groundbreaking anymore. The only thing that I will mention, because it's something that not everyone realizes, Brutal Cathar is a combo with Interceptor, because you usually play this, you exile something during your turn, and you want to switch into night mode, because then you get the additional value from the Cathar, and also you pressure enemy into not playing 2 cards a turn, which is really good. So then you hold mana for the Interceptor or the Emperor. They demand very different answers, and if you force enemy to just guess which one you have, that is a big field for the enemy to misplay, and that's sometimes how you win the games that you should never win. And you need to make those situations that can give you the win that you don't really deserve in a way, because that's how you improve the win rate. And we talked about the win rate. I'm pretty sure you like the 70%, and so did I. And that's how we make it. Okay, so small combination, and also don't forget, if enemy is smart and he plays around Interceptor, it means that he wants to play a 2-drop or something like this that he can replay. But if he does it, then he has cast 2 spells in a single turn, you still have Interceptor in the field, and then you flip the Brutal Cathar, and suddenly, yeah, he played this card, it finally entered the battlefield, but you just remove it at the upkeep when the daytime switches. So, something to remember. And also there's small like trick with Adeline and Raffine. Remember that Adeline creates attacking creature when Raffine attacks. So it's super weird. At first I didn't really understand how it works because I had to target Raffine first. But in reality you make the first trigger for Adeline. But you need to select target because this is the first ability resolved as the last one. So you need to target whatever creature you want to buff. Then the token is created, so you put it on the right of the stack, like you have this ordering field. And yeah, and then you get additional creature, and then you connive for 1 more. And believe me, this makes a difference because it's a permanent counter for the rest of the game and 1 more draw. So you need to be careful about those things because they will make or break your game. We switched Fateful Absence compared to the last version with the Sun Gold Sentinel because, as I said in the previous video, the only reason I really liked Sun Gold Sentinel, first of all, of course, exiling Graveyard, but in reality I always was super happy because I can connive with it. And I realized if the card is good because I can discard it and it's a non-land, maybe that's not my main play. I remember playing Mono White, and Fateful Absence is a very good card in this kind of deck, and it very often wins you the game. Hopeful Initiates, I'm on defense with this card. Maybe Ushers are also good, but Initiates can win you so many games, and this is some of the small field for the outplay. When you order counters right, you can grow creature for free, and this is sometimes the damage that you lack. With the ESPER version, sometimes you don't have as much damage as usually because, for example, you are holding the Interceptor or something. And I think that's it. Other than this, enjoy the games. Tell me what you think about the final game, the mind-blowing, extremely surprising, the worthy Mythic game that after I finished, I really believed that I'm worthy of playing Mythic because I proved how skillful I can play there. So, yeah. And you see the game, you will know everything. Okay, and as always, really thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this deck. So I know we covered this deck, but I really felt that with all the Boros, the situation changed so much that I really wanted to test how good the deck is. And for any one of you that after like the reset wants to go for Mythic again, you might not be sure if this version is still relevant, and I think we proved that it is. I hope you will like it. I hope it will be educational, helpful, and fun, as always. So, really thank you for watching and enjoy the games. Okay, so as always, this is one of the examples card that you, hands that you would probably mulligan on the draw. It's even bet on the play. But I think if we play against creature deck, Brutal Qatar will win us the game, and Raffine on the play is really strong. And especially the ward, so enemy will have 3 mana, Omni, and usually they cannot answer Raffine on curve. We also have good mana base, so we have perfect mana. Fateful Absence as well, important card in a lot of matchups. This was actually a Sun Gold Sentinel in previous version, if I recall. So it has turned into something else. I think it's Fateful Absence, it will be relevant. And we can wait for the Emperor. Versus Initiate, like, they will play something good. Yep. And I'm always making a stop, even though I'm pretty sure we don't have to. Be gone. Be gone, you monster. Bloodthirsty monster. No training for you. Now I think it's Raffine. Man, where was Thalia before? Raffine is really good here. It also blocks on top of the other stuff. And when they play a big creature, we just Brutal Qatar thing. Enemy is just so bloodthirsty. Like Adversary. He's just playing those hasty creatures and just smorking everyone. Okay, so what do we do? Do we play double creature and try raise him? Usually it's not a great idea. What is his next play? Raiju? Yeah, I know Raiju. So the Raiju. First let's attack. I do think we attack to make our stuff a bit better. Oh man, we have nothing great to discard, but we can cast Emperor. Okay, Emperor might be quite important, so then we trade with Adversary and something else. They will buff the Adversary with Raiju. So the counter goes here, then Initiate, I think he will train, I'm not super sure, but then our Samurai won't do anything, and we need to exile Raiju. This is 3-3, this is 3-4, and we are in trouble. Then we Brutal Qatar the Initiate, and we leave the Raffine on the play. So we probably really wanted to be a bigger one. This is such a hard decision, because we can also go for the Brutal Qatar road, and then exile the Initiate. It might be better. But then we cannot double spell, really. Man, I have no idea what to do here. I really want this to grow, but it sucks on every way. You know what? Let's just get rid of the Initiate. Man, I was never so bamboozled during any turn in my life. That's so weird. They might also not have the Raiju, but they always freaking have Raiju. you can clearly see that's a proof. I have never met a player that didn't play it on curve on turn 4. Ever. That's legit. Not single time in 200 games. Really, it never happened. Let's see the counter. Let's see the counter and hope they will mess up. But it's pretty easy decision, unfortunately for us. Yep. That was my mistake, because I'm trying to play too fast. Yeah, I know, it's super slow, but I'm trying to play as fast as possible. Because if you exile it, I believe you don't get the hit counter, because there's a queue. Like, first you put the counter, then you deal the damage. And you can answer the first part. Okay, so... I could also go for the Interceptor. Not sure how good it is. I'm pretty sure it's Brutal Qatar in the end. We get rid of this, so even if he gets back, it's 0-0 with no haste. So that's pretty good overall. And now the question, do we buff something? Like Raffine with 3 attack would be super good here. If he attacks with Raiju, one of the creatures will die. And with Interceptor next turn we have much better chance to do something. And I will invest this card. Oh man, Boros! Boros is so hard to play against. They have so many deadly tools. That's okay. If that's the target, then they don't really do much. And this is actually perfect for us. This is so perfect, you don't believe even how perfect it is. They might activate the Den. Then we block one with the Qatar and the second one with Interceptor and they don't have anything. And this way we can cycle. This is pretty good. It's also a lifelinker. I think Thalia had its time and it's a bit too late. 4 damage to the face. It might seem risky, but it really baits out enemy attack, and we will flip to nighttime. It also means that if the enemy double spells, that's not great for them. And if they don't activate the Den, it's even better for us, because it means that we will intercept something. And if he casts 2 cards, then our Brutal Qatar will remove something for free. So all in all, we have like really a lot of good options here. I think we are like in advantage right now, but it's very slight and it can reverse with 1 good card from the enemy. See? Easy. Never didn't have it. It's Aspirant because it's too slow, I think. Yeah, just go. Go to your auto win mode with control decks. Okay. 1 tick to Mythic. Man, this deck really does it. I think this game was so close, but with Brutal Qatar you really need to play day-night cycle very well, because thanks to this 3-3 first strike it just trades perfectly with Adversary, so he has to play something, and then we are guaranteed to use the Interceptor on some good card. Okay, so definitely not the best draw of my life. At least we have untapped land, so you know what? Thalia can reverse some tempo that we have at a disadvantage from the start. We don't have 1-drop, so we might as well start with the dual land. The Shattered Sanctum. I kinda like the art. At first I didn't like it, now I do. Things changed, and the Thalia doesn't. So, oh, we've got the contender. Okay, so pros and cons. We definitely don't play this because it's a crap compared to the other versions. This one is good because it might get removed, so it means that we have the backup one. And this one is just better for the matchup most likely because it's some creature deck. I think it's Aspirant. Because they don't have instant to remove it, they don't have creature, so if they have any kind of fight spell or whatever they have as a removal, they have trouble playing it. Like, it might get removed, but as you can see, we actually managed to not get removed, and that's pretty huge. Okay, and now we have options. I think it's the Spellbinder. Thalia is not bad as well, but I think this is just more power. Enemy wants to attack with the goblin, but we don't have time to think. We need to smork. You always need to smork. Turn without attacking means that you lost part of your life, and it will never come back. We don't have blue, so we cannot cast the Interceptor. That's unfortunate. Oh, I see. I see. Oh man, I'm not happy about what I see. So enemy will have what? At least 4 mana. Legion Angel. Man, we can stop the whole train, but I don't think it matters. I think it's the Visitor, because that's his only like enchantment synergy. Oh man, like his hand is just pure gas on, like the value is infinite. So we will never win at value. We can only go for tempo. So he wants to get the land, I assume. They might cast the Showdown, which pretty much negates their turn. The fact that we cannot kill the goblin is like insanely bad. But we cannot. They might play the angel. Man, it's so not great. If we draw a land, we can cast Thalia. And then cast Eiganjo, because this is legendary. And it might be the play. We just need untapped land. If it's an island, maybe then it's Interceptor. Or maybe we won't draw any of those. So we attack with both and make the token. I honestly think it's best case for now. We need to stay aggressive. No way around it. What he wants to block? He definitely prefers to block the Aspirant, right? So it means that we buff the Spellbinder, so it's awkward. Because Spellbinder does nothing anymore, and he still goes for the Aspirant, which probably is the best choice. So, my idea, man, how important is Eiganjo? We will never put 2 counters, because we can only have 5 mana. I don't think he will play maybe the Legion Angel, right? Then he trades with Adeline, and then we sneak 5. I think we just go like this. Man, we need to push for the maximum damage and hope it's enough. We don't have like any control over this game. It's up to enemy to be too slow. And like he has very slow hand, like it's infinite value, but also very slow tempo. Never mind, scrap this part, he has everything. Oh man, at least he discarded, but he discarded the runes, that was his decision. Which is really beneficial to us right now. We didn't hit it, man, if we got this, that would be so much better. Enemy has only 2/2s, and for this reason, we are going full crazy mode on tokens. Yes. More tokens, more power. He can lifelink, so that's unfortunate. But he needs to trade something if he wants to survive. 5 damage is guaranteed, and we also have the cave. I don't think you want to trade for the token. If anything, I would go for Adeline. It has no haste, my friend. I'm not sure. So enemy wants to copy the Legion Angel, I think. Unless they have something better, but they lost their mana advantage. And by the way, Elite Spellbinder disabled this horrible creature that would destroy us completely. Can you just cast the Showdown and let our viewers enjoy the win that we should never have? Man, I'm feeling that we actually might have a chance in this game because enemy is playing so... in my opinion, he's not playing well at all. So this is a copy of a creature. I don't think it will have a lifelink. But it can block, definitely. Oh man, we didn't draw a land to activate the cave, which would be like lethal, because then we would attack... Oh no, Adeline would make a token. Okay, anyway, we don't really have a choice, right? Enemy has no mana, so you know the play. The only difference is that we want to put as much stuff into the board to make Adeline bigger. We give him the full decision scope, but it is what it is. And we don't really think about anything. And nothing has first strike, so it means that they will hit for the bigger damage. Yep. This hurts, like lifelink is sucky. And he has no mana for the token, so he needs to sacrifice the Kiki Jiki. So his plan is just to go super big. And it didn't work out. Man, I'm pretty sure he messed it so much on so many levels that it's insane. Like with his hand we should be dead very quickly. So I think this is one of the wins that you will get if you try to play your deck wisely and enemy just doesn't know what he's doing. This is kind of wins you will get then. Okay, so this is most likely a winning hand on the play. Let's see if we have chance on the draw. I don't think we have. Enemy is starting strong with some Boros craziness, which will probably mean that our initiate Thalia and Raffine will be either outpaced with his like growing creatures, so it's adversary, so removal, adversary, cavalier, Eiganjo. I still prefer Eiganjo. I think it fits the card a bit more. So go with your adversary, go. Okay, so then we have bigger cavalier next turn. I guess it's a bit better. It is just slightly better. Okay, so we want the full rainbow mana that we can cast Raffine. Raffine is actually quite good, but if we are on the draw, it's just much worse because you have to defend and then he doesn't grow. And everything is just so worse when you are on the draw. Like both aggro, control, everything just plays like a completely different deck. And man, I do rant about it, I know. I know. On the bright side, enemy draw doesn't seem to be perfect, which might be our only chance. So we can hit Spellbinder for Eiganjo. Do we do it? They usually have to for some reason. I don't know how, don't ask me, but they do. Attacking with this and Raffine might also be pretty relevant. But I still think it's a lead Spellbinder, because I'm scared about what they play. You know what? I'm less scared right now. And with Thalia they actually cannot play it next turn, which is pretty sweet. We can block the small irritating token as well. And they don't have creatures, so they need to cast spell, right? Cast your creature spell, so not when the creature enters the battlefield. And yeah, they need to cast it. Play it as a land anyway. They cannot activate it then. I hope they didn't draw some good play. Man, actually, thanks to them not having optimal cards, we have a chance. Even while being on the draw. So, do we raise? I honestly think we do. We have really reasonable hand. So we go Raffine, and then go Super Smork. And enemy will activate the den most likely. I'm not sure if we win this race, but I think we should. Of course they drew something playable. Okay. Okay. Let's start like this. They don't have cards in the hand, remember, they have 0. So right now, let's just attack for a lot. And I think we go with the flyer. This would be very good for blocking, I guess. But I think if we raise, then we raise. Like, we need to be resilient with the racing thing. And we want to definitely buff it as much as possible, because it benefits every single turn, our game plan. And let's go with this one. So we have more white, because we only have one white. And I guess blue or black doesn't really matter here. So he can hit by quite a lot, but I think we might go for more. Especially with the Emperor, like we have counterplay. So he might play it, but then the ward cost is not enough. So I will still block. Like, it makes sense that he attacks with everything. Okay. So can he kill us next turn? I don't think he can with the Emperor. So it means we just go for 2-turn kill, even with the den. So he activates it, buffs this, so it's 6 damage, 7 with the token, 11. Then we Emperor, and we exile the den. Or initiate, actually. Initiate is better. And I think then we win. That's my game plan. And for this reason, We should probably not attack with everything, but you know what? I do want. At 6, 7, 8. And maybe one Thalia. Maybe Thalia shouldn't go. If they remove the Spellbinder, we buff this one. No, let's just go. I think we win this way. So why risk it for the biscuit? Interceptor, really nice. You know what? I do like what I see. I do like what I see. Hive will be too slow. So if anything, we want either Emperor or the Interceptor, one of them, depending on the play. We will see when we hit. And it's 8, 10 damage, so close enough. I don't want to main phase Emperor. I just think it's not worth it. Like, the surprise element is good enough, because then you can decide exactly which part of the enemy board kills you. Did I account for the Kumano? I think whatever I did, it will be still okay. Bloodthirsty Adversary. Okay, that is our answer. Then he cannot use he cannot pump the adversary. Initiate doesn't seem to be training. I think we go for the Emperor, it's safer. So it's what? 8 damage. 10. So they need to do something. It means that we wait what they do. Okay, let's go for blockers, no blockers, and see if they do something. I think they might have a burn spell. So for this reason, we will exile something. Yep, exactly as predicted, like in the clock. And we are 4 ticks from the Mythic. Okay, so this hand is decent. We don't get anything on curve, like perfectly. Yeah, we could risk it for the 3-drop, so this would be first, this would be second for the adversary. Man, it is tempting, maybe that's the play. You know what, let's try. We are on the play. On the draw I would never do it, but on the play, enemy will have only 1 mana to answer it. And we actually drew the card. We are a great player. And this is actually huge. This land was like possibly game winning. Because the Spellbinder is pretty good here, and as well enemy needs to answer adversary before we do. Oh, that's a Doomscar. That is a Doomscar, my friend. Unfortunately, it is a Doomscar. We don't have Legendary, so even with 3 mana we wouldn't be able to cast a Tawara. I think it's just Raffine Tower, and we chill. It is a bit of a risky play, but I think those 2 creatures are enough to Doomscar. Yeah, like we will force Doomscar just with them. And right now we can start over with the Elite Spellbinder. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. Enemy will be able to remove the creature. Okay, so he will seize the spoils if we exile the March. I think that's the play. Because then it's so expensive that maybe he will exile the cards, and to be honest it might be the best idea. Especially that he sees that we care. But if we can hit him with Interceptor, this might win us the game, because we are in a very bad situation after this Doomscar, especially if he has Ramp and Sweepers. Okay, so far everything is planned. You need to sneak enemy into your like little trap. That's a good land. And right now we do Smorg. Unfortunately enemy is at pretty high HP. Okay, and what will he do? Yeah, whatever. We might even bounce the treasure in some circumstances. We will see how he plays. I expect a March, so this is 3 mana. If he pays the treasure, he can remove it, which really sucks for us. Oh man, that's not great. I think we have to change our plan, because like he's playing smart. That's exactly what he should do. So right now he will pay this treasure. if we use this, we will force him to do it right now, but nothing more. I hate this play. I really hate this play, but I think we have to do it. And I will keep Otawara to cycle back the Interceptor, and then maybe we can sneak this additional 4 damage. And we definitely need to cycle something and hope that he has no like cheap removal. Okay, Brutal Qatar, that's definitely not your matchup. Now he cannot remove the Interceptor because it's too expensive. I don't think... Yeah, I think he can exile cards. Because he is casting it just from the exile zone. So the wording should match. Okay, and he decided to go for the big score. Yeah, because he can kill the creature land if he wants. And that's the sweeper for the full next turn. So do we keep Otawara and get back the Interceptor? Then we can play Aspirant for 2 mana, go with the Interceptor at the end step, and then have the Hive for the following turn. So I think that's like a 3-turn plan that has low chance to win, but it has chance to win. And that's what you have to do, like those little sneaky steps. Little sneaky steps. Right now I think we have like 30 or 40% to win this game. That's my estimation. I think it would be lower if enemy played more like spot removalish, let's say. And enemy is really thinking about this. So he's considering that we might have another Interceptor, I think. We could play Otawara, go with the Aspirant. If he burns down the house, you know what, I think that's not bad. We get the counter. Do we have triple white? We do. We force the sweeper. Like, we need to really pressure him right now. And with the Emperor, I think we have pretty good play. I'm scared what he can do this turn, because this 4 mana is definitely super scary. We will go for the Spellbinder with the counter, if we get the chance. Enemy cannot invoke, so burn down the house at instant speed is not a thing. And he did exile a card. Emira's Call. Sure. So the Hive needs to be like the killing blow together with Emperor. He also won't really know what exactly do we have. And that's our big chance. He needs to answer the board right now. He burned part of his treasures, which I personally don't like. I think those treasures were something that really gave him the edge. And he could march before. Like, he had 1 turn when he could march the Spellbinder if he wanted. Okay. So, by the way, if we had Interceptor, we would won the game already. And let's check the priority. That was really quick. I think we just won. I believe we just won. See? This was the very slim chance, and I like this deck because it's like a chess match, you know? You push different directions and see where the enemy is the weakest, and then you just attack there with full strength. The enemy was weak because we knew he has 1 sweeper, and we needed something to keep on board together with the Hive. Hive was so important this game. For some reason I don't feel this hand, but I will take it. It's decent enough that if we mulligan we probably get like worse one. And enemies seem to be having this Toshiro Umezawa, Okiba, Reconer rate, like I drain you for 1 deck. And they're on the play, so it will be hard. It will be hard because Thalia really hits them, and when we play Thalia, they already will have played everything for cheap. Okay, so that's maybe different deck. So we definitely want to play Thalia. We need double white. So this can be... yeah, let's go like this. This is Thalia. And then I think we go for the other line. I'm not sure. We will see. Other line because that's a big target for removal, and there's a huge chance they will kill her. So we have another one then. And everything is on the ground, right? Okay, this one is definitely blue, so we have Esper mana. And now we have actually really big decision to make. This will be the biggest decision of the game. I don't think it's Brutal Qatar. It sounds great, but it's not great. Raffine is really hard to kill right now. And I really want something to stay on the board, because I want to follow it up with Adeline. And don't forget, Raffine gets the value from this. Do I let him? Enemy might have this. So if they have play with fire, they perfectly kill Raffine, and that's very high chance that they have it. Unfortunately, we take more damage than we should. But I really want the Adeline thingy. Let's attack. And with this, you always want to first create this. You target this, because you have to. And then you draw 2 cards, because there are 2 creatures attacking. And that's pretty huge. Let's get rid of one of them. Then Spellbinder. So Thalia will be relevant. I think it's the Spellbinder. It's just too slow right now. And we definitely want to increase the power on the board. Okay, and let's go with the land. This will be hard. We'll have double play next turn, so that's something. See? Enemy has so much removal for so few mana. So we definitely want double spell, but our Raffine for the rest of the game is set, so that's why we attack like this. We might go for the Brutal Qatar. It might be the only chance to remove the underdog, which is pretty much the only problem here. Enemy has Menace. You know what? This actually is worse. But this can be... Enemy doesn't have a lot of mana right now. So maybe we just get rid of the Menace, which is the biggest problem. We are at 3, so we really need to be careful about our life. And if they blitz, we can still block it. So far, we stabilize, and let's see what the enemy is playing. Like, they had really a lot of plays for this 2 mana. I hope it finally will stop. It has to stop at some point. Like, they have 3 drops in the deck. I want them to have only 3 drops right now. This card is interesting. Okay. That was pretty obvious decision, not sure. Oh, so maybe he was thinking about Brutal Qatar. So it's like this, right? Man, we could take this. We cannot here really though. Maybe we should just risk that he won't have any more burn. Yeah, this deals the same damage pretty much. So we are at no risk of blitzing. And this is definitely... Man, we could flip Qatar, but in this situation we just need to go as fast as we can. We need to kill him like crazy quick. And we have the measures to do it. So it will be Raffine because it's flying, so it can finish the job better than the other cards. Oh man, it might be this. This is 6 damage, 7. Yeah, we can kill him next turn. We just need some extra HP. So I think Emperor might be game-winning card. It will also create the token. Good game, good game. So he has the burn. That's unfortunate, but I think our plan was really good. Yeah, okay. Does he want us to leave or something? Sure. Enjoy. Yep. 1 turn too late. I would just exile my own creature next turn. So that was really perfect draw from the enemy. I think we did everything nearly right. Okay, so our hand is really weak right now. That's a mulligan. This one is better. So I think it's like this. We need to draw lands. Other than this, we are happy. And we go for Thalia, most likely. So we start with this one, then we get this, we have Esper mana and we cast Thalia on curve. Then we draw a land and play Raffine and we are super happy. And this is my favorite color combination, except Esper and Esper except Dimir, but I really like this one. I hope it's this control with Shigeki. I really do enjoy this deck, and I never play against it. So what this deck has? Revitalize, Shigeki, but they did not play it. Detour, but they don't have the mana. They have Broker's Charm, but they cannot play it. So for this reason... Oh, White March. This might be White March, but they need to exile something. So for this reason alone, we can go white, blue, black. We play Raffine. Generally, when you have Interceptor, you really want to create enough pressure that will grow every turn, that enemy is forced to do something. Because if you apply too little pressure, they will just never play into it. And if you hit them for like 4 damage a turn, they can wait 5 turns usually before doing something, and suddenly they have like 6-7 mana and like Hullbreaker horrors against your 1-drops. Easy, see? Predicted. And what did they exile? Endless Detour. It's the deck. I really want to do the coverage of this new version of the deck. It's really super fun. Okay. So right now it's bigger problem. He can Detour, and I'm pretty sure if he exile Detour, it means he has another one. So this will be Detoured. And if we play Adeline, which one he prefers? Probably Raffine is still worse. They don't play Jewari, so we don't care about this. I'm pretty sure like in any version you don't play Jewari, because the mana is still hard. Like I sometimes missed green on this one. Okay, Dissipate, it's interesting. Still, I really don't mind it, because we sneak our small little creature. Brutal Catar, not relevant here. But it might be better than the Hopeful Initiate, to be honest. But it's not, because we might draw a land, and then we play another Initiate and keep up the Interceptor, and that might win us the game already. Easy. See? Perfect synergy, perfect strategy. And now enemy wants the thingy. And I was never on the receiving end for this card, and I must say, it doesn't feel great. It hurts. It hurts the soul. I think right now we go all in, hoping that he doesn't have the card. Yeah, let's go like this. Especially with the ward cost, it really slows them down. Okay, so we make sure that Raffine is bigger. First, let's train. Okay, but what do we increase? He wants to bounce Raffine. He definitely wants to bounce the Raffine. If we grow it to 4-4, so first it will go to 3, and then we buff it. Then what he bounces? I think we go like this. See? Good ordering, very bad draw. That's a horrible draw. We basically get 0 value. We just cycled lands, and that sucks. And we actually don't have black to activate the Hive. Did I discarded the wrong land? This should be something in our hand. Man, the lure of Eiganjo, the free land. I just got punished. Okay. So right now, yeah, it didn't matter because we didn't even buff the creature at all because we are drawing just lands from the top. So that's not great. And this is definitely scary. Okay, show me what you've got. Attack phase, Detour. But we still get to train the initiates. Interesting. And we'll make another Raffine. Put on top. I think we decline. Make enemy happy for a moment, because we want to get black mana. Like, generally we have a lot of power on the board. So the enemy has to sweep, right? Even if they remove one, we kill them. So I think maybe we don't play the Raffine. Another chance to be a mistake. Maybe you should just go all in and hope he doesn't get a sweeper. But I think he already needs a sweeper. And if he sweeps, that's a good sign. I think we might have this game. Now he cannot cast Doomscar and Farewell and Devastating Mastery. So I think all of the sweepers are out of his reach. So he needs spot removal. And that was it? Man, did he play it right? Maybe he just didn't draw the correct cards. Dissipate. Yeah, I think it was okay. Maybe just unlucky draw. Man, can I have this hand with Thalia instead of one Raffine? I would really like it. Raffine and Adeline are so great together. Maybe we'll draw something. Famous last words. So the Shattered Sanctum into Otawara. We also have double legendary creatures, so Otawara would be nice as a spell. But we probably won't get there. And you know what? Given our draw is so amazingly quick, we can as well cast it right now. Maybe good. This is how you go to Mythic, guys. This was our most skillful, most extremely worthwhile game of the day. Why the hell did he concede? He didn't even see the card. He didn't see that we are the ESPER Aggro. Oh man, and we hit Mythic just like this, after all the games that we bamboozled our mind of, misplayed and corrected the technicals and all this stuff. In the end, all we needed is just to play 2 lands, and that was the winning play for Mythic. So if you see any person in Mythic, there is a high chance they played 2 lands and got there. Okay, that was a first class joke. So as always, if you like the decks, probably less aggro than this, as always subscribe. And you know, I really think this deck has a lot of power still. Like, this seems to be the best deck for me. I think it's on par with Boros, maybe even better depending on the meta. So if you like to hit Mythic as soon as possible, you see exactly how to do it, and it's really quick with this deck. So really, thank you for watching. I hope you learned. I definitely learned a lot playing this deck, and see you in the next video.